our belief that our people are our greatest assets. Every investment that we make in people is an investment for the future. It is an investment that ensures the ability of Lagos to renew itself as long as it is peopled by healthy, skillful, and dignified people. We have resolved as a government to develop a proud people, people who are confident, people who are dignified. We have resolved that skilled people and those who have dignity will be better able to work with us to banish poverty from our land.
As an element of social contract between the government and the governed, accountability is a pillar that should guide any responsible administration that holds the sanctity of its promises to the people as sacred. An accountable leadership must not only be open. Another strong feature is continuous public engagement and participatory governance. For Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola's administration, the hallmark of its public engagement and participatory governance is the established 100 days account of stewardship program. This idea has become the impetus and propelling force that keeps the administration on its toes always. For the last 100 days, the administration continued with its massive projects delivery. The period was kick-started with the commissioning of the newly reconstructed blocks of classrooms at the Ikeja military cantonment and a new 22 classroom block for Agidingbi Senior Secondary School.
In the last 3 years and 11 days that we have been in government, we have worked very, very hard to fulfill our promises to you. We have done so much more than I can recount. But today we gather to hand over 2 sets of projects that represent models of what we have been doing. The first set of these projects are these 8 blocks of classrooms in the cantonment in Ikeja. They consist of 82 classrooms that we have renovated and rehabilitated. These 8 blocks represent models of 253 blocks consisting of 3,885 classrooms that we have rebuilt, renovated across the state.
It is instructive to note that the commissioned schools are part of the 300 classroom blocks that have been reconstructed or newly constructed across the state in the last 3 years. Apart from considerable improvement in the learning environment and the creation of a virile platform for building the youths into future leaders, these projects will complement other education-oriented programs, especially the production of 165,779 pairs of desks and benches under Phase 1 for public primary and junior secondary schools.
Very inspiring. It serves as a sort of encouragement. And in fact, we now have more sense of belonging. We now see that we are being recognized. The students are being recognized. And in fact, it's going to go a long way to boost the morale of the students and the teachers as well.
When you look around, you discover that the money of Lagos State is well spent, judiciously spent on education. And when you look around, you discover that we have never had it so good like this. I mean, the history of Lagos State and in education in Nigeria in particular, you will have observed and you'll have seen that the governor of Lagos State and the deputy, they are wonderful people who are seriously seeing to the improvement of education in Lagos State. And this is the first of a kind in Nigeria. You can go around the whole country. You see that the huge amount of money spent on education in Lagos State is actually showing and materializing for people to see physically.
What he has done and what he has been doing is very phenomenal. To what, compared to where we were before, back then when we were in Antony, in unconducive classroom for learning. But here we have well-equipped laboratories and classroom which is conducive for learning, and I believe that is very good.
Positive impact, I think, for the governor to at least provide the computers for us, and then we have qualified teachers here. The library, the laboratories, the library where we study, and then the laboratories where we carry out experiments. I think this will help us to perform well in our external exam, the WAEC.
In the last 100 days, the present administration's strategy of integrated rural development as a vehicle to deliver its rural empowerment programs to the grassroots assumed another dimension. It was a harvest of projects of life-enhancing policies which were inaugurated in different rural communities. Between Tuesday 10th August and Tuesday 17th August, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola's administration, through the Ministry of Rural Development, handed over 519 projects to rural communities across the state. Projects inaugurated include 12 modernized water jetties, 10 community halls, 117 water projects, 119 solar stations, 17 rural electrifications, 200 transformers, and the replenishment of water body stations.
People have accepted this government in its entirety because this is a methodical government. This is a government that plans and delivers projects to the people. When we told you that we are going to embark and deliver 500 projects, some people did not believe that it is possible. In a year, we planned and delivered 500 projects.
We really appreciate the effort of the government in the Odoshola community. As you can see, people are enjoying, they are rejoicing. This kind of program alleviate their suffering. So that is why we are rejoicing. We appreciate the effort of the government in the community, in the Odoshola community.
This is a very laudable project which the governor has provided for us. It is an alternative of the power failure we have in Nigeria as a whole. So since the inception of this project, we have been enjoying the light. Even we have been overstaying the night. The project is very good. So we got this one. So we wish me more tenure in the office. For this reason, it's a grassroots people. So for that reason, it has helped us to touch every nook and cranny in this Lagos State. For this reason, we love the project and we wish him more success and in life.
The inauguration of a new Igbo-Shere Magistrates Court eventually began the actual delivery of projects which target the reform of magistracy. As the first level of justice, the Magistrates Court is the closest to the people, and the new building is expected to help in no small way to provide the ambience for liberty and justice.
We recognize that as Africa's fastest growing megacity, law and order were critical pillars for the sustenance of democratic life, and that the magistracy was the most pivotal access point of contact for citizens with the justice system. This level of judicial system that deals with housing, especially as it pertains to the relationships with landlords and tenants. This level of justice that deals with the complexities of the urban challenges of our time, road traffic offenses and violations. This level of the justice system that deals with the daily challenges of law and order, felonies, violations of sanitation law, environmental issues, and everyday issues that determine our developmental index as a people.
Igbo-Shere Magistrates Court, having 22 courtrooms, is only the first of 10 similar structures with a total of 156 courtrooms at different stages of completion across the state. The provision of such a magnificent building for the magistrates no doubt attests to the importance of the magistrates' court to the general administration of justice. Therefore, it is bound to restore magistracy, which is also referred to as the workhorse of the justice sector, to its pride of place.
Let me say without sounding arrogant, but that Lagos State has been the most decisive driver of justice reform in clear terms. And you know that started with the summit, the first summit on administration of justice, where a blueprint was laid out. And the blueprint, to the extent capable in terms of resources and so on, has been faithfully followed. Not just infrastructure, not just better personnel, better trained, but legislative reform. No other, Lagos is the model, which it's not perfect yet, but nowhere in the world is there a perfect justice system, which is why it is a continuous process. Criminal justice has been addressed by the promulgation of the 2007 Administration of Justice Law. There's a new Magistrates Courts Law, or at least they've stopped the suit, so that's going forward. This infrastructure for the magistracy, unprecedented, was also recognized as an important part of that reform. So there has been infrastructural reform, legislative reform, administrative reform.
As the judiciary developed and the magistrates increased, the magistrate court in Boshere became inadequate. At times we have magistrates sitting in places unbefitting of them. So the concept for this place was then had that there should be a befitting of magistrate to promote delivery of justice in a respectable atmosphere. So I'm glad I'm alive to see the dream come true.
As a compliment, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola swore in 7 new judges for the Lagos State High Courts. The new judges will play key roles in the ongoing administration of justice reform and the speedy dispensation of justice in the state. After many preparatory works, the construction of Lekki-Osborn Link Bridge and road works became quite visible. When completed, this project will bring enormous relief to Ikoyi-bound traffic from Lekki. To underscore its public engagement disposition, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola's administration within the last 100 days held 4 different forums to address pressing issues in the state. The first phase of this was the Stakeholders Forum on Lekki Toll Plaza. The forum provided all the parties at stake the opportunity to air their views. The second forum was convened to address the issue of safety of street sweepers. Determined to ensure the safety of lives of this group while at their duty posts, all stakeholders were therefore brought together to address the challenge of avoidable accidents and how such accidents can be contained. The forum also sought for better service.
For them to enlighten us for what to do in the work and not for what not to do, and for the safety.
What Loma is doing in Lagos State is a very nice, idea, very nice work. Because since Loma started this type of cleaning Lagos State has been a very fine place now. It has been a fine place. So every one of us are enjoying it, and we pray to them that they should continue like this. So they should continue like this. More grace to their able, because everybody likes Lagos State. Everywhere you come from now, everybody likes Lagos State.
The third forum was on Lagos Central Business District. The successful completion of infrastructural upgrade in Lagos CBD and the determination of this administration to sustain this achievement formed the basis of discussion. Again, all stakeholders were given the opportunity to make contributions on how this desire can be achieved.
So the purpose of the stakeholders is for them to come and talk to us, come and tell us how far we have fared and what they expect more from us, and what they are also going to do to assist us in resolving the problem of the disintegration of the Central Business District.
The last of the forum was held on the new regulations for Okada riders and commencement of enforcement against defaulters. Before the administration got to this stage, the final step towards creating massive awareness was undertaken through motorized campaign throughout the state. The forum was thus a cap for government's engagement of stakeholders before it moved to enforce.
The economic and social cost on our society of the operation of Okada is daily increasing, and we have reached the point where we must insist that the operation of Okada in our state must be in accordance with the laws of our state. We stand to reaffirm our resolve to discharge our primary responsibility to protect lives and property and secure the state, and this is what compels us to act. I am delighted to say that the Association of Okada Riders through their recognized unions, MOAS and ANAPOA, and the National Union of Road Transport Workers and the National Union of the Road Transport Employers Association are our partners in this regard. Posters in this law is that the motorcycle, the bus drivers, all the means of transportation will gather in this. I think the state government staff will be giving you for that.
Our conduct on Lagos Road will never be the same again. And Lagosians will see us as riders that have exhibit in mature conduct on road.
We have no doubt in our mind that you will operate the Okada according to the rules of the game, so that you do not leave your wives, widows, and your children fatherless. I expected all of you to apply because nobody will operate the Okada and expect to die prematurely. So our heart desire and our prayer is that you will execute your functions without going to your ethnic and maybe your wife and children. And of course, you know the law the state government has for you and all of you. So your security, your safety is paramount to us, and we do all our best to assist you at all times.
The office of the First Lady of the state also added to the strings of achievements recorded in the last 100 days. Her Excellency, Mrs. Abimbola Fashola, whose initiative, Lagos Empowerment and Resource Network, LEARN, a non-profit organization as a vehicle to groom young ones, continued to ignite passion for learning among the youths by creating alternative platforms for education in a dynamic and exciting environment.
I just felt there was a vacuum that needed to be filled in for the youths, by the parents, or any guardian who is there and knows the way forward or can project the way forward.
Also, in the last 100 days, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola was host to His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It was a rousing welcome for Mr. President, who used the occasion to unveil a new power plan for the country. The governor also donated within the period a fully furnished creche to the Christian Society to mark his 47th birthday. He also received an award of excellence from City Club Surulere for his sterling leadership qualities these past 3 years. In line with the already established tradition of honoring those who have contributed to the development of this state, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola unveiled the statue of late Chief Gani Fawemi at the Ojota Quadrangle. It was in honor of a man who made enormous contributions to the promotion of free and egalitarian society.
We should engage not only by giving suggestions to those entrusted to leadership, we should engage by getting involved. The leaders do not have all the solutions. They are humans like us. If there is a superiority of thinking, a capacity for a superiority of action, then bring that capacity forward. Get involved. On behalf of a grateful community, the people and government of Lagos, whose territory was Gani's theater of dreams and is filled of many battles and well-won victories, we gather today to honor a true Nigerian patriot worthy of that calling by every standard. We dedicate this park as a token memorial of our appreciation for a life of leadership through Spartan service to humanity, to demonstrate to others that we will not forget our heroes, in the belief that some new leaders will hopefully be inspired to rise up and continue from where he left off. The task is not completed. There is sweat and toil ahead. Our persistence and patience will be severely tested, but we are irrevocably committed to pursue our dream of a brighter and rewarding future. I unveil this statue today, 6 September 2010, in memory of the life and death of late Gani Olusola Fawemi, Gani Sam San, a frontline legal luminary and human rights activist par excellence, who revolutionized law reporting and dedicated his entire life to freedom fighting and the enthronement of democracy in Nigeria.
One 1,200 days down the line, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola's administration continues to wax stronger by the day. Projects after projects, programs after programs, the aspiration of this administration to enthrone a better Lagos have become the benchmark for good governance in Nigeria. These evidences of success can only be delivered by a government that is truly passionate about the people and that will not spare any resources to ensure it delivers its promises.
Look at the roads, hospital, drainage, schools, mention it, agricultural something. No, there's nowhere Fashola have touched in Lagos. We the government should pay our tax when due, so that the government can do more.
Well, I'll say Governor Fashola has done a great deal. He has turned Lagos State around. For people like Oga Fashola, you know, if he can go further, further up to being the president of Nigeria, you know, we all believe he will really do a lot for Nigeria. 1,200 days in office, he has really done a great deal, you know, for the Lagos State.
If I flash my mind back 3 years ago, and see what is happening, I know it's doing well. The facilities are taking shape. There is a normalcy returning to Lagos. People are beginning to be conversant of the law, obeying the law, because that is our problem.
Ọjà ń tún títì ṣe àfi títì bá wọdún tó bá dẹ̀ ti gbọ́ ọlọ́ba àníkọ́lọ́ tó ṣe. Àwọn ẹni tó bá lù dínkù wọ̀nyí ọlọ́mọ ṣe mẹ́jọ ẹ̀ pé.
It has been well over 3 years that BRF took the mantle of leadership in the state. In spite of this, the zeal, the commitment, and the purposefulness being exhibited by the governor reflect that there is indeed quite a lot more to come.